What's up, guys? Our giveaway for the Sigelli Sober Kit has now ended. All winners will be under the description below. And thank you for everyone who participated this giveaway. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another Photo 101 with VaporDNA. We are on our way to VaporDNA HQ right now, just driving around. The rain has finally stopped. It's kind of nice, but I do love the rain. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of some indoor shooting, and we're going to be talking about how to take photography with... that was so new. How to take photos with flash, and we're going to go over some of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years and how to shoot with flash indoors, and shooting with TTL off-shoe flash and TTL onboard flash, as so a lot of DSLRs nowadays incorporate a flash built in. So we're going to show you the tips and tricks, and let's get shooting.
So what's up, guys? We are here in studios at VaporDNA, and as we mentioned, we're gonna be talking about flash today. So what I got here is the Nikon D300, boom, with an onboard TTL flash built in, like a lot of SLRs actually do nowadays. And then on my left, the other guy, is my trusty Sony A7R Mark II. Yeah, Mark II. Anyways, on the Mark II, I do have a off-shoe TTL flash from Insignia, which I use religiously. I love it. Just as good as a Nikon Speedlight, but just like half the price. But anyways, when you're shooting indoors and you don't always want to shoot at a high ISO, as we mentioned in the previous episode, and degrading your image, shooting flash is the way to go. And in order to do that, you need to know how to properly utilize the flash. So today we got first off with the A7R. I'll be using it with the Insignia flash, and I'm going to take a quick photo of what it looks like when you use the flash normally. So when you first get your flash, you normally just kind of, swivel it down, or you go all the way up, swivel it down. So I'm gonna take this first shot, 45-degree angle swivel, front. And if I take a look at that image, you'll notice that a lot of the light is reflected off the actual device. Even the background, the juice being featured, it's all getting a glimpse of this actual flash. So the secret to taking a nice, well-lit photo with a flash, if you have an offshoot TTL, is backwards. That is the most important tip and trick that you will ever learn with a flash. And the reason why is because we consider this a bounce flash, where it will bounce behind us and fill everything else up with natural light from the flash. And doing so, you won't get those reflective particles all over from the background, the foreground, the subject. It won't take in that flash. So it has more natural looking feel. The brightness is more natural, it's more even. So here we go again. Same composition, same settings. Much better. Cool. When you're shooting with an offshoot TTL flash, the most important tips and trick that I can give you guys is to shoot the flash backwards. And in doing so, you provide a more even lighting for the subject. It surrounds the foreground, it surrounds the background, and it gives you just this nice, even glow. Unlike shooting it forward like this, or even like this, which is disgusting. Don't ever shoot like this. It's bad. It's just really bad. And the reason why it's bad is because when you fire a flash See the spit that flew that way?
No.
When you fire a flash forward like this, the first thing it's going to touch is your subject, and as soon as it touches your subject, you're going to lose all color contrast. You're going to wash it out. It's going to be blown in highlights, and the colors are not going to be natural. So when you flash the subject like this, you're screwing it all up, and not just washing out the image colors, but you're also providing a shadow behind the actual subject if you don't want a shadow. If you want to aim for a shadow, then by all means you can shoot like this, you can shoot like that. But for all intents and purposes, for this tutorial specifically, we don't want shadows. We want a naturally lit shot, just as we did over here. Basically, that's all you really need to know about shooting with the TTL flash is don't wash out your subject shooting forward flash, because if you do that, you're just going to blow out a lot of colors, and you just don't want that. You're going to get reflections that you don't even need in the image. That's why the most important rule with using a TTL flash offshoot, like this guy here that's attached to it, fire it backwards. The flash never touches the subject, therefore never washes out the image. And because it's firing backwards and surrounding everything, it's filling the whole entire frame with this light, and it's not concentrated on a single point in your image. So tip and trick number one, shooting with a TTL flash, just like this, shoot backwards. If you have one of these guys, use it too. It works beautifully. And keynote, if you guys do not have one of these swivel flashes, and you have only the ones that go forward and up, shoot up. At least that way, when you're taking a picture like this, it's going up and surrounding the image once again, and your actual subjects, where it's not shooting the subject directly. All right, so if you can't turn it, aim up. But if you can, aim up and back 45 degrees. That's my natural setting right there. So with that in mind, let's talk about onboard flash. So I got here my trusty D300, and shooting with an onboard flash is a little bit trickier because you can't turn this. It'd be really cool if they incorporated something like that where you can actually turn that onboard flash, but you can't. So tips and tricks. Ooh, before we do, let's take a picture so you can see what it looks like when you shoot with an onboard flash, straight up. Oh, that's gonna be so disgusting. So gross. And you'll see when you look at this image, you'll see that all the reflective properties of this onboard TTL hitting the subject, hitting the background, and it just looks garbage. Unusable. Don't like it. So, nice little tips and tricks. If you have an onboard flash, use a cup. So what we got here is a paper cup, just like one of these. Styrofoam, thank you, Vip. You the man, Vipster. We got this styrofoam cup that you can buy everywhere. Walmart, CVS. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. But what you do with the styrofoam cup is, this is basic form. This is like Super Saiyan 1. And cut out the bottom. Nice little hole, you just cut it out. And this goes right there. That's it. And it's like a natural, easy, super cheap flash diffuser. Not only is it diffusing the flash, but it's also concentrating a lot of the action upwards, just like what we want to do with a TTL flash, is you want it to go up and back and surround the subject. So this paper cup, cut out just like this, plopped on top, it's gonna provide a better image quality than what the onboard flash shot like this will. So let's take a sample shot with the diffused onboard TTL. Okay, now it's getting better. Now it's getting nicer. Compared to the previous image, it looks a lot better. There's not a lot of, the reflection is not as intense, so it's not a lot of blown little tidbits of highlights in the background and the foreground, which is nice, but I think we can up the ante. Let's take off our styrofoam. and take a look at this guy. This is like Super Saiyan Blue or whatever the hell it is nowadays. Vip, what's the best now?
Saiyan God.
There you go, Saiyan God. So this is like our Saiyan God. And what we have done with the styrofoam cup is we've lined it with aluminum foil, and we've got some tape here to just keep the foil in place while we use it. And apparently Vip wanted to put a gold rim around this to resemble a Nikon, I think. You noob! But anyways, this is such an easy, cheap trick. I mean, we all have aluminum foil, we all have tape, we all have styrofoam cups. And if you don't have a styrofoam cup, even the red, what is this called? The red,
Solo cup.
the solo cup. You can even use that. Just cut out the bottom so that it'll fit right on top of the onboard flash.
Make sure it's white.
Make sure it's white. Yeah, make sure it's white. Otherwise, if you get a clear cup with colors, your flash is gonna have that color. So if it's blue cup, you're gonna have blue tinge. But here it is, our aluminum foil wrap flash diffuser. And I'm gonna pop this on my onboard flash here, nice and straight up. And we're gonna take this same picture once again with God saying,
Saiyan God.
oh my God. All right, so here we go, guys. We're gonna shoot this. Our settings are ISO 200, 1/100th of a second, f2.8. Oh, look at that. Woo! I could use that image. Let's take another shot. Let's drop the Yogi and get my Geek Vape a little bit angled right there so it takes a little bit of that light. And take that shot again, different angle. Woo! Perfect. And what's nice about it is it's so evenly lit. You can just see the background is not reflecting anything from the flash. The foreground subject's not reflecting anything from the flash. It's just all naturally lit all over. Cheapest flash diffuser ever. So that's basically it, guys, with shooting with flash indoors. Little tips and tricks with what you can do with what you have to take way better photos. Of course, there's a lot of stuff involved when you start utilizing flash photography. Things like how fast can you shoot, the aperture, your ISO, it's all gonna correlate with shooting flash. Shooting indoors, because you're using flash, you have more light, you don't have to shoot at a higher ISO. I was able to shoot at ISO 200. If I was to stop down my aperture to its largest, which is 1.8 on this lens, I'd be able to stop down to ISO 100 or even a native ISO 50. And in doing so, you have a better DOF, you can really kick that up, and you don't have to degrade your image using a higher ISO. And also, shooting flash, you can only go up to 200th of a second. Some cameras can do 250th, like this D300 can do a camera sync with its shutter at 250th of a second. This guy, I believe, is also 250th of a second. Some cameras can only do 200. So if I were to try and shoot with flash at 1/500th of a second, you'll notice there's a black bar. And that black bar is literally your curtain going up and down, and the flash is getting caught. So just remember, if you're shooting a flash, shoot at shutter speed 1/200th of a second or slower, 1/100th even. 1/60th, maybe that's the max of how slow you can shoot your shutter. But yeah, that's it, man. It's just super basic, super easy. 2 awesome tips and tricks that you can utilize right now. You can go find a styrofoam cup and build it. You can build your own flash diffuser and take a couple of pictures yourself and see how much of a difference it will make shooting flash properly. So that's it, guys. That's Photo 101 today's tutorials in a nutshell. Thank you for stopping in and watching another one of our videos. And if you like what you see, remember, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Notice I pronounced the B in that one, not subscribe. And hit the bell notification. It goes bing every time we drop a video, so you get notified, because we got a lot of videos upright sleeves for you. And that's it. And like I used to say, so I'll eat, sleep, vape, and repeat.